Break or though you're good?
It's up to you, nigga. Keep potted.
All right.
I'm looking at this thing at the top.
Yeah, that's what I want to get into. So, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Shout out to Joe Budden Podcast. If you know me, like, regardless, I love my Virgos, no homo. Huge fan of the Joe Budden Podcast. Obviously, for the last month, little over a month, Mal and Rory took a little break.
Sorry, my YouTube.
It's Parks. Microphone check 1 2. What is this? New Ishima. But yeah. Anyways, so Rory and Mal came back to the pod. Mm-hmm. They spoke about just everything that's been going on in the last week or so. Pretty much, I guess, a dispute with friends. Mm-hmm. More than anything, I just think it was respect. I think what I got out of it, there wasn't respect. I don't think the respect was given around on all parties. Yeah. Joe, Rory, and Ma, everybody. I think Ma was the only person that I would feel like was respectable through the situation. Yeah. But more with Rory and Ma, I just feel like it was a respect issue that they just couldn't. Or Rory and Joe, sorry. It was a respect issue that they just couldn't come to some sort of agreement. They were in talk again. The man them just don't like to talk, holding in feelings, not addressing certain things when certain things are being said. Shit on the podcast is being said that we're watching when Joe's like, yeah, I'll fight my friend who said we're friends. And
there's more to this than what they're saying. Not to be getting mixy, but shit, okay. We're here. They're talking about, the way that they were talking to each other and like the amount of information that Joe divulged to them about what's going on behind the scenes and different things of what their issues were, right?
Yeah.
But salute to academics once again. When he gets on his Twitch and starts shooting at Rory and Mal, he's saying contract disputes and all these different things that they're not mentioning. How, man, them lawyered up. He heard all these things that they never mentioned. And they pod for like 3 hours, fam.
What time? I watched the just recent episode.
None of those things came up. And I know they're not going to, it's not our business for them to bring up things. It's up to them to bring up what they want to bring up. But they're saying that it's those things and what we seen. But then there's other platforms who are saying other things, right? Yes, we're always going to get it from the horse's mouth of what's the best, but they're not going to give us everything. We don't tell everybody everything.
Facts. We getting mixy right now, so who is in the red or who is in the wrong?
I think it's a combination of both. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was a little bit of like the divulging of info because there's a lot of bags that come in that these niggas is like, yo, like, can I get a little bit more on this or can I know a little bit more about this? Because their mans are doing Patreons. They're doing a lot of pods a week, fam.
Yeah, fuck. Well, not a lot. Well,
it's a lot of hours of podding.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of hours of podding, I would say. 2
podcasts a week plus a Patreon.
But they're doing the Patreon is the same time that they're doing the pod though. They're not coming in for like the Patreon. They're just filming extra content and then throwing it on the Patreon.
Yes. So instead of staying for 3 hours and change, we're gonna stay for 6 hours and change.
But 2, I know it's a little bit different, but I don't know how much people know. We do all that shit, fam. So it's not a big long though. But that's why I'm saying that's why we don't do it as long. Let me find somebody. Yo, if somebody's out there that wants to come edit this show, hey, holla at me, bro. I'll come pod out here for 3 hours. I'm not trying to edit this show for 3 hours. I'm sorry. Like, I'm just not doing it. I have other shit to do. But I think that's another thing that goes into it. Like, me coming into a podcast, there's a different energy I would feel if I was just coming in podding. The fact that I actually produce this fucking show, it's a lot of motherfucking work, bro.
Yep.
So that's one thing. I'm going to be mixy with you here. me and Herc are talking to you about certain things that we don't like and agree with the podcast. Let's just say, fuck, hey. They popped up a girl show. You pop up with Alizé, and me and Herc are like, yo, what the fuck is this Friday? And Friday's like, hey, man, this is building the network, so and so and so, whatever. Me and Herc just say, you know what? Herc's like, yo, I don't like the way Friday's been talking to Guttz. I don't like the way he's been dealing with him. Friday says, yo, maybe Guttz needs to take some time off. And I'm like, all right, well, cool, like, whatever. How do you go about it? Are you still going through the pod? Like, are you still... I already know the answer to this, but are you still podding without me and Herc?
Without both of y'all?
Both of us. Herc says, you know what? If Guttz is not there, I'm not there either.
Okay.
I really want to get mixy, but I don't, fam. Can I? Okay, yeah. Let's do this one first.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Herc, yeah. Herc's like, all right. If Guttz is gone, I'm gone too.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still running We Love Hip Hop podcast?
The We Love Hip Hop podcast will have to take maybe a hiatus for a couple of weeks until we figure it out.
6
but
weeks.
this is a network
Uncut too, so
all right. So Uncut's not going to be on because you have an issue. Zaylink's going to have to continue to be the one pod for the week, right? Because she doesn't have an issue unless she pops up with a fucking issue.
Yeah.
then I'm going to have to be like, ooh, ooh. But yeah, the one, the original one that we started there, that's going to have to take a week off. I'm not going to sit there by myself.
So you think Joe's wrong for continuing the show without them?
No. Reason being, they took the 1 week off, right? They're trying to figure out their issues and stuff like that. Their audience is huge, 1 million+ listeners per week.
Yeah. The nigga told Ma that. He's like, whatever. I didn't watch the reason. I didn't watch the episode with them guys. Still did a mill. Yeah. All of them. Still did a mill. I don't give a fuck what you watched.
Right? But like, I also understand where Joe's coming from. Like when you have a network, you have people who are working behind the scenes who depend on edits to come to them to get money, and there's people who are filming all these different types of things. Yeah. So they can't work now.
Yeah. I totally get both sides of it. Like that part of it, it was just like, fuck, fam. When you're a big network like that and people actually like that's big dollars that they're like, yo, I'm coming in for the 1-2 days, but don't get it twisted. That's a lot of money that's coming in that I'm feeding my kids with. That's a lot of money I'm feeding myself with. That's like
that's my job. That's
my job. Any other job. Yeah, like, and it pays well. Yeah. So like, I totally get that part of it where it's just like, fuck, fam, the show kind of has to continue.
Yeah. So after a week or so, if we ain't figure it out, to tell you the truth, I'm gonna pop up and I might have a chick there or somebody else there for temporary.
We've already dealt with this, though. I want to be mixy, but
listen, fam, I've done episodes. I've never taken a break except for one time when I went on vacation.
I haven't taken a break. Except for like the beginning when we started, we didn't have like a structure of when episodes that we were like when we would be filming, right? It was supposed to be 6 Views Uncut was just supposed to pop up whenever, but
yeah, right. But there's times that Hercs went on vacation and stuff like that. I brought in the next host for the day, like a guest host, and I just worked it out that way.
Timestamp.
Go for it.
Are we ever gonna talk about Sav?
Could talk about her. You don't need to timestamp that.
You sure?
Go for it, nigga.
Because behind the scenes, a lot of people just don't know what happened, and it was like it was just a strange situation where she just disappeared, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that situation if you have it. Like, no?
Not really. Because with that situation, we never took a beat off. We
didn't. Yeah, because it was just like, fuck. Like, shit still had to move. I'm more speaking to the behind the scenes aspect of it, where people have to talk. Like, even though you guys, like, not saying you guys, just in general, if you have any sort of production or any team doing things, there's a respect aspect that gets like misconstrued. So when you have friends involved with shit, sometimes you might say certain things where it's just like, oh, okay, I'm saying it, but my friend should understand it.
True. That's how people feel, but that's not necessarily how it is. Right? Friends in business, and that's why they also say it's don't mix friends with business.
Don't fucking mix.
Right?
And shout out to Savvy the Ghost. No, it's no like this. They're like, we're not dissing her or anything like that, right? It's just like people been always like from time they've always been like, yo, what the fuck happened? Like you know what I'm saying? But like, not to give too much sauce away, like there was a disagreement on both parties, and it was just like, okay, well,
and I let her go.
Yeah, there you go. And
just for the people who've been wondering this whole time, and no diss to Sav, like you said, like
we're gonna get Mixie then, since he said it.
He let her go.
We're gonna get Mixie here. I'm not speaking on anybody else but me. I had a fucking problem with that. That was a big fucking issue because to me it was just like, yo, fam, like, no heads up. Like, we're being real here, so fuck. I don't feel anyway. Yeah, so to me it was just like, yo, there was no heads up, and I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, this is something that me and Sav built. Like, regardless of anything. Yes, I still gonna continue because like I'm not gonna stop the show just because them two got into whatever they got into. But at the same time, I was just like, yo, that's fucked up. Everybody didn't even like come at me and say, yo, well, Guttz, da-da-da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. So you do have those issues like Joe, where it's just like, okay, I got to make a decision.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you're going to have your co-host or other people on the platform that are not going to agree with it. And it's going to, not per se cause tension. I wouldn't say there was tension there, but I was pissed. I was cheesed, bro.
No, but
I didn't want to do the show by myself. Like
I expected it. That's the thing. And it's part of, and I've learned this over time, and I feel like I even was learning this before podding and stuff like that, like with executive producing and doing all this stuff with the music scene, right? When you're going to be trying to get people to a certain point, like point A to point Z, all the decisions that you're making, and I hate to use words like this, but when you're trying to lead, right? Not everybody's going to be happy with a decision you make.
Yeah.
Right? But one of the things is if you wait too long for everybody to get in on a decision, like not everybody has the same ways of moving and thinking and all that.
Yeah.
So you have to have, and I feel this is with every company, one person who's just going to fucking pull the trigger. You know what I'm saying? And you got to hope that you could trust that person's judgment and vision. You know what I'm saying?
But you could also hope, you got to hope that we could trust the vision.
Yeah.
But what if you do that move and it goes left though?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
These are possibilities, right?
Because let's be real, like me and you don't have that. I felt like we were gaining a relationship, like partnership, whatever, because I know niggas fucking homo or whatever. But like we were more gaining like, okay, Friday's teaching me how to edit now. I'm doing more stuff. Whereas you, Sav, and freaking Herc, you guys have known each other for years. I'm more just coming in as an intern. So to me too, it was a situation where it was just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't ready, bro. I felt I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
At that point of time, I was just like, yo, I feel like this is gonna fucking crumble. I'm like, yo, I don't know if I can handle all this fucking pressure coming in. I was still nervous. We interviewing guests and shit like that. And again, like, I guess, yeah, like
when you are trying to, or when you're put into a position of leadership, you have to be willing to take risks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You weigh the options. It's not like I didn't weigh options. I didn't erratically make the decision. I put a lot of thought into the decision before I made it. And I didn't move with my emotions.
That's another thing they always tell you.
Right?
Never.
This contrary to popular belief, because I'm a Cancer and all these different things that go with it. Like sometimes people think I rant and I'm like going off of my emotions. But even when I'm ranting, I'm choosing my words wisely.
Fact.
I know the repercussions of my words. I know the repercussions of things a decision that's being made. So I always, if I'm mad about something, before I make the decision, I gotta cool the fuck off first.
I think that's all of us. Because even like this is the first time we're talking about this in months.
Yeah.
I was pissed off about it. I wanted to talk about it ASAP. Like we didn't even bring up the fact that she was gone until maybe like a week, 2 weeks in, right? So like shout out Savvy, obviously. Love all day Sav.
Oh, for sure.
But like yeah. It's just when you're in those higher up positions, especially when you're like trying to build something, fam, you gotta make some hard choices. Because like
make some hard decisions for sure.
I know it's gonna come one day, but like I don't want to be put in those positions. You know what I'm saying? Where
it will come though, fam.
Especially when it's with. I think it's a little bit easier. Like if me and you would to not per se kick. I guess now it bugged me a little bit. I feel like I'm your little son that you never had. But like I feel like it'd be different. Like now it would bug me. I think like a few months ago, I wouldn't feel away if you would like. I would have been like, because we didn't really build. I feel like now this is not just like 6 Views Uncut, like just what you've given me a part of We Love Hip Hop. Like we've built something, fam. Like you've trusted me to like kind of lead interviews. You took me with the Pooh Shiesty interview. Like there's certain, you could have been like, fuck that, I'm gonna do it myself. There's certain things where it's just like, yo, Friday's giving me an opportunity, regardless if you see him and you're like, yo, this guy's a live whore. Friday's taking all the attention. Low-key, he doesn't have to give me all these opportunities. He could have been like, fuck it, I'll just take it myself.
I'm alley-oop king, bro.
Behind the scenes.
I'd rather alley-oop.
I can tell you Boog's interview that was given by Friday. Like, there's a lot of interviews that he could have just been like, I can just save them for We Love Hip Hop. He said, nah, bro. Hit that, bro. Take that. You're ready, bro. Yeah. So, yeah, for all the people that are like, nah, man. Friday's taking all the shine. Monster, man. Friday's trying to take all the shine. He's really not. He's out here a lot. Fair as possible. Don't get me wrong. He whores a lot. There's times where we're like, slow down, my G. But there's a method to his madness. I'll say that. There is definitely a method to his madness.
Oh, even with that, okay, with the live whoring. I actually said it in the beginning of 2021. I told the audience, because, you know, I do the YouTube lives, you know what I mean, the Twitch and stuff like that. I'm going to start getting more interactive with the people, doing more lives. I said it.
I was telling him this from maybe the first time I started getting on the platform. I've been telling him to go on Twitch. I've been telling him to go on live from like ASAP. Yeah. I want to take him some credit. But yeah.
So I don't lie.
Yeah, you do. Because you said you were going to rant a lot. And you've given some classic rants this year alone.
Yeah. The ranting, I lied about that. But like... I was going to go get more interactive, and I feel the reason is because that helps to build the platform. People get to talk to you in real time.
Facts.
Right? And I think that's needed. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to talk to the personalities that you watch recordings of in real time and get their opinions.
And no offense, I think there was a void. Like, you guys don't, whatever. Top 5 wasn't on live as much. A lot of artists weren't going on live as much. You didn't see 6 Buzz on live as much. I think those times where you're doing your weekly little rants or whatever that people thought of it, I think it was needed, fam.
And it wasn't like, because that's happening that, you know, I started ranting. It's just,
I
was already doing it.
You're already doing it.
And then all that shit started happening, fam.
So it was still needed that, okay, well, top 5's gone. Academics is not popping up as much. These artists are not popping up as much. So it's like, fuck, bro, why not just Friday, just go on live?
Like, I literally wasn't trying to fill a void. I was just like, I promised in the beginning of the year, and now we're in May, and I'm keeping to my fucking promise.
Yep. Hey, man. Shout out everybody out there, bro.
And shout out to Joe Budden Podcast, man.
Yeah, shout out the Joe Budden Podcast. I still think it has like a year or two.
You know what? You're not the only person who feels that way.
I don't think it's gonna.
Somebody else said it on the Star Report. Salute to Star. They were saying 1-2 more years, and they're 1 year and they're out of there.
I think it's a year. I personally think the respect level is still not there, fam. I think Joe can definitely still continue the podcast. I think Rory and Mal are out, fam. I don't see... We're going to come after just now, but when he did the whole so what thing, I think that kind of solidified, well, the respect is still not there, fam. You still consider... And I get it, like, you're a boss, we're employees. And when you give that kind of respect level to it, like, it's understandable because that's certain jobs, that's how it is. Like, the boss acts a certain way, he deals with, you know what I'm saying? He says certain things, but...
That's not the same. They're friends.
But it's... Okay, so that makes it even worse. So when you say, so what, to a friend, to me, it's just like, all right, this business is more important. That's cool, but I want my respect.
As a friend.
As a friend. Because... I'm pretty sure, like, Herc reminds me of Mal. And I would feel like I'm kind of like the Rory, even though I'm not. But, like, Herc is the kind of guy, like, I don't care about this whole money shit. I don't care about the fame. Is the respect level in the podcast still there? The morals.
And principles.
Yeah, are those still there? Not even between the podcast, but with us as men. And I think when Joe said, okay, well, you're the Jay-Z thing, and he said, so what? And I told you guys, well, so what? And Ma was trying to, but that's different. And Joe, like, to me, it was just like, yeah, Joe, I think, like, those guys are done in a year, fam. Those guys are out of here.
Yeah, he's also super ultra famous and more rich than them, right?
Yeah.
So he's looking at life from a different perspective, and he might not even realize that they ain't seeing it the same, fam. We're not getting driven around all over the place. We're not pulling up in chinchilla fucking furs.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Joe Budden Podcast. Shout out Rory, Ball, Parks, Savard. I'm like bigging up the whole fucking squad. Like I know these niggas. But yeah, big
Screen man.
Screen man. Ice, Ish and Ice.